Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 7 tips for doing your driving test on the highway. In this video, I'll be going over 7 specific things that you should keep in mind whenever you are doing a highway portion of your driving test, whether it's specifically a highway test or whether it's just a highway section of your regular driving test. Keep these 7 things in mind. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Tip number 1 is get a lot of practice. Now this one goes without being said, but I'm going to say it anyways. Practice makes progression, and progression will help you pass your driving test, specifically the highway portion of the driving test. Driving on the highway requires a lot of practice. So practice is going to give you exactly what you need. Practice for as many hours as you possibly can before you take the test. You'll have a better chance at passing. Tip number 2 is to merge properly and safely. Believe it or not, merging is one of the hardest things to do as a beginner driver because it requires you to accelerate at a pretty fast pace. It requires you to signal, check your mirrors, check your blind spot, do all of the regular lane change procedures, and it requires you to estimate and figure out what you need to do to get in line with the cars that are already on the highway. So practice merging properly and safely until you can get it right. Tip number 3 is to get your lane changes down pat. You want to know how to change lanes very, very well. And the reason behind this is simply because when you're on the highway, you're probably going to have to change lanes many times. So on your driving test or the highway portion of your driving test, they're probably going to ask you to change lanes many, many times to the right and to the left. With that being said, get your lane changes down, know the process, know how to do everything with regards to lane changes. Number 4, tip number 4, use your mirrors properly. Now, when you're driving on the highway, you're traveling at a fairly high rate of speed. And with that being said, it's just as important to know what's happening behind you as it is to know what's happening in front of you. And what you're not going to do, and I'll pull over to show you this, what you're not going to do as you're driving on the highway is turn your head around to see what's happening behind you. That's what you're not going to do. What you are going to do instead is you are going to make sure that you know how to use your mirrors. You're going to check your mirrors regularly. Sorry about that. A squirrel just came up to the car beside me. It just sort of startled me. I mean, my windows are closed and it's just coming to get some food but it kind of scared me for a second there. You're going to check your mirrors regularly and often, and you're going to check them properly. You're not going to scan them quickly like this. And you're also not going to scan them for a long period of time like this. That's definitely not what you do, because that takes too much of your focus off of the front of the road. So with that being said, you're going to scan them in a timely manner and often, and you're also going to use them properly when you're switching lanes and merging and exiting and so forth. Tip number 5 is to learn the art of maintaining your speed. And I say art because it truly is an art form. Maintaining your speed is more than just holding your gas pedal down in the same position. If it was that simple, everyone would be able to maintain their speed easily, but that's not the case. You don't want the driving examiner to be going back and forth because you can't maintain your speed or control the gas pedal effectively. Learn the art of maintaining your speed and maintain your speed properly and maintain the right speed. Not too fast, not too slow. Moving forward to tip number 6, know how to exit. Now, exiting is one of the easier things to do when you're learning how to drive on the highway, but because it's so simple, people often overlook it. It's something that is extremely simple, but that's why people don't practice it as often. They know that merging onto the highway is way harder than exiting off of the highway, so that's why they kind of just brush off exiting as just, something that's easy and they can do it. Know how to exit and practice your exiting procedure as much as you possibly can. Last but not least, tip number 7 for doing your driving test on the highway is learn how to pass a car like a pro. Passing a car is a very important aspect of driving on the highway, so just learn how to pass a car as well as you possibly can. It will not only allow you to have a better chance of passing the highway portion of your driving test, but it will also allow you to be generally a better driver, because that's an area where people lack in general. Even people that have been driving for over 30, 40, 50 years, they lack in the area of passing a car. So learn how to pass a car like a pro. And that's basically it. Those are 7 tips for doing your driving test on the highway. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.